you. We've talked about the FedDev funding, we've talked about infrastructure, we've talked about business taxes, we've talked about communication. Let's now boil it down to the local riding that whichever one of you is successful on October 19th will be representing. What projects will you work hard to bring to this particular riding? We'll begin this one with Ms. Clayton.
So the big focus for this riding will be on infrastructure investment. We saw how we benefited from the wastewater treatment plant and the Benson Center. We need some improvements to Highway 138. So a lot of our healthcare, a lot of people in our community actually travel to Ottawa for healthcare. We need that 138 to be safer and more efficient. We also need better transportation corridors to our distribution centers. So our economy now depends a lot on those distribution centers. We need Marlow to be more efficient. You know, we also have infrastructure for housing, affordable housing. In this city, we have over 600 people on the waiting list for affordable housing. This is unacceptable. And an infrastructure program under a Liberal government will put immediate investment into building, not just legislation, into building affordable housing units for low-income and middle-income people.
Can I talk about two?
The floor is yours.
Okay. First of all, one of the things that concerns me in our local riding, because I'm green, is the problem with windmills and our green technology. And one of the things I think we have to look at is the people that are concerned about wind technology, and a lot of it has to do because they don't know what's going on. There's all this secrecy about these big companies coming in, and we have to be able to discuss what's happening with the people that are in an area. Now, the other thing that I would also like to just make a comment about is that through the Council of Canadians, the Canadian governments that I mentioned earlier, we also want to look at housing for seniors, First Nations, social justice people, and also affordable housing for all of these.
Thank you, Ms. Kennedy.
What I think is the most glaring failure of our current MP is the situation with Akwesasne at the moment, and I would make it a priority to fix that relationship. I was speaking to the Mohawk Council a few weeks back, and they told me they have no relationship with our current MP. This, of course, made the border crisis that we had a few years ago a lot worse in that situation. There should have been dialogue. Why were those guards having to be armed in the first place? Our MP should have, if that was going to happen no matter what, our MP should have had the ear of Mr. Harper and was able to say to him, look, we need a transition period so we don't have traffic chaos in Cornwall and security risks as the cars are piling up on the bridge at the border check. So we definitely needed some leadership on that issue. We needed some cultural sensitivity. And what I think what we really need to do is have an MP that represents all the residents of this riding, and especially those who were here long before Canada itself was established. And any student of the War of 1812 knows that we owe the Mohawk a debt we can never repay.
In July of 2014, a delegation of municipal people came into Cornwall and were touring around the city looking at our infrastructure. And they said, how can you be so lucky? Everything, you've got this new bridge, you've got a new hospital, you've got the Benson Center, you've got new sewage treatment. It goes on, you've got new streets, new roads, new water mains, etc., etc. And you know what the city official said? The city official is quoted as saying on August the 1st, 2014, pointing to projects like the new low-level bridge and the Benson Center Sports Complex, the official said, there's more investment in the last handful of years than in the last 50 years. Thank you.
So our economy is stalled now, and that's fine to talk about what's been invested, but we need to move forward. We need to be looking towards the future. And we still have aging infrastructure in this community. And you know, cities and municipalities provide 60% of the services, but we don't get 60% of the tax dollar. We need a strong federal partner at the table, and we need to be building affordable housing. Now, the other plans do not speak to immediate investment of the significance that the Liberal platform is proposing. And we have these needs now. Our route here, Marlow, that takes us to our distribution centers is at capacity. We need to be doing something about that. That's for our economy. Affordable housing, housing for seniors. What about arts and culture? We have a thriving arts and culture community here. And you know what? Our regional plan will invest in social infrastructure, including cultural institutions and cultural buildings.
Actually, I think I probably must the announcement, the Marlow widening, Bernadette, we just 6-8 weeks ago announced $1 million to help with that. But we did announce $1 million. By the way, you know, when a city official says that everything is I can't believe it is better than it's ever been in 50 years, I think that maybe you need to get in your car, take a little drive around, and see what's happening. Because I'm going to tell you, our city, if you're talking about the city or the outlying areas, we've put 3 new sewage disposal plants in this riding. They're expensive. This one here costs $60 million. Iroquois costs $10 million, and I'm not sure what it costs in Morrisburg, somewhere around $10 million. We have put 3 of them in the last 5 years, plus the $75 million bridge, plus the Benson Center. I think we're doing more than our job.
Our estimate we need a stronger federal partner at the table.
Thank you, everyone. We'll call it there.